there. Welcome back into Occupied Democrats. And in this breaking story, the phrase "the buck stops here" in my lifetime, likely yours as well, has been something that every single president I've ever seen literally lives by, at least in terms of a public persona, except for, of course, Donald J. Trump. He actually said one time, "The buck stops with a lot of people." That explains so much. And it's the core of this breaking story, which I'm going to show you in a few moments, because of his inability to actually think about anyone other than himself. And it's important when it comes to what just happened with Donald Trump and CBS. Oh, you have to see this. But let's realize that this extends also to the people that he has around him as mouthpieces, starting with, of course, his fave, Caroline Leavitt Lips, right here.
Now, of course, there is plentiful video evidence to show that the officer was struck by the car, that this deranged lunatic woman was trying to ram him over with her vehicle and was using that vehicle as a weapon.
As she rambles off into the distance about absolute lies,
which justifies domestic terrorism. And unfortunately, we are seeing these instances play out in American communities across the country, where you have these organized, paid antagonists who are part of these groups that are actively, unlawfully impeding lawful law enforcement operations.
And it extends to the next wannabe president, hillbilly elegy J.D. Vance, right here.
I think she is a victim of left-wing ideology. What young mother shows up and decides they're going to throw their car in front of ICE officers who are enforcing legitimate law? You've got to be a little brainwashed to get to that point.
As he continues to espouse BS.
To where you're willing not just to protest, that's fine. Throw your vehicle in front of legitimate law enforcement officers and drive your car into them.
And the key to this psychologically is never forget Trump's niece, because she was there. She saw it all. She knows who Donald Trump is. And this, in this breaking story, is who Donald Trump is, as she states right here.
He doesn't care. The idea that people think that he cares about other people, particularly vulnerable people. Donald is somebody who 20 years ago revoked our health insurance when my nephew, who was a baby, was in the neonatal intensive care unit. He revoked our family health insurance that everybody in my family, including him and all of my cousins, had forever through my grandfather's company, to punish us for doing something he didn't like by putting my nephew, who was suffering from life-threatening seizures, in danger. That's who he is. We cannot cut him any slack. We cannot make excuses for him. He doesn't care.
That's right. He doesn't care. And what just happened with CBS and the new host is Donald Trump got confronted because Renee Good, the victim of the ICE fatality in Minnesota's father, is a Trump supporter and MAGA guy who is, not unlike a lot of people now, wondering, what in the hell are you doing, Donald? Check this breaking story out.
I've got an important question about the situation in Minnesota, the death of Renee Nicole Good. I've been speaking to her father, who is a big supporter of yours, like many Americans are, but he's heartbroken right now.
I can understand that.
He's heartbroken because his daughter is dead, that's obvious. He's also heartbroken because your administration so quickly has come out and said she's a domestic terrorist. What do you want to say to her father right now?
Well, I want to say to the father that I love all of our people. They can be on the other side. As you say, he might be on my side.
He is on your side.
And I think that's great. And I do. I think it's great. And I would bet you that she, under normal circumstances, was a very solid, wonderful person. But, you know, her actions were pretty tough. I mean, I've seen it many ways and many different shapes and forms. But the bottom line is, look, we have hundreds of thousands of murderers in our countries, killers. ICE is trying to get them out. They were let in through an open border policy of Sleepy Joe Biden. ICE is working very hard to get them out. Their job is being made very, very difficult. And, you know, when you look at that tape, it can be viewed two ways, I guess. But when you look at the way that car was pulled away, there are a couple of versions of that tape that are very, very bad.
Yeah, there you go. Donald, no matter what he does, can't be wrong. He can't show any empathy, and all he can do is continue to point a finger of blame to someone else, while a young woman is being put in the ground 6 feet under, metaphorically or literally, I do not know. But the reality is, more and more MAGA people who support this man, and then something bad happens to them because of this man, is going to be a consistent theme over the next 3 years if his presidency lasts that long, depending on the midterms. But this is one of those scenarios where you have to look at the FAFO, F around and find out concept, and understand Donald Trump's never going to stand by you. Ever, 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 ever. Whether he loses your vote or not, this is a man who does not care. And when it's put to him to show any empathy or sympathy in any way, shape, form, or fashion for any form of a victim that doesn't directly affect him, he literally cannot do it. Don't forget that. Like and share the video. Stay frosty.